Hello everyone, welcome to today's short stream. We're gonna play a little bit of Magic. I just logged in and you'll hear in the background a little bit of license-free music. This time it's some Celtic medieval tavern music, non-copyright, volumes free. It's quite nice, it just serves as a nice little background thing. I like Arena's sounds and music, but it just gets a bit repetitive. So today our prod is to play black and red. Let's see what we have for that. We could play Alchemy Rakdos. That could get us the needed things. We could continue with the Junt joke deck. We could play the Kalia Brawl deck. We could play mono red. I've seen some pretty good mono red builds around. Some of the mono red things I've seen were really fun. I'm very tempted to do that. But I'm also sort of tempted to give Arcanist a try. I haven't played Arcanist in a while, and I love the card. I mean, it's so funky. It's such a value card. I happened to play already at the time when it came out in War, and I know it's not super synergistic, but I'm gonna try to mill myself a good deal, and then just hope that that's gonna be enough to make these 4 cards work well. Now, so they are the core of the deck, and everything else should enable these 4 cards to do a good job. Everything else in the deck should maximize our chances of these cards doing a good job. How to do that well is the question. I don't want to copy a list just from the internet. I find it usually more fun to, just come up with a build. We can play this if we face something that's very tricky. Actually, we could play Lurrus as well. We are under the Lurrus threshold. In any way, we want to be very low to the ground, probably. Yes, everything is under 2, so... And Lantern to blow out our opponents. Hidetsugu hits us pretty badly too, so maybe not in this deck though. But then we can play maybe 3 Lanterns. And... I sort of like March, because actually we can discard to it. Black cards. We could definitely play in this deck looting, because Supplier is alright, and then actually maybe Supplier isn't good and it's a waste of space. With Darcy, looting, Channeler, we should have enough ways of getting stuff into our graveyard. Maybe we want Passage in this deck. This is predominantly, to my surprise, a red deck. And we don't want more than... We definitely don't want more than 20 lands. We're very low to the ground. So I think maybe even this is okay. 1 more land, right? And the problem is that there is a high risk with these cards that they're gonna come in tapped. So that's why it's not that bad to have a number of untapped basics. It would be lovely to have the fast land for Rakdos, but we still don't have it. And then we want little push to main, 2 sides, maybe even 3 main. We want Kozilek. 2 main, 1 side. Heat. It's good against planeswalkers. So we have a bunch of sorceries, we have a bunch of things. Just very quickly, how exactly does Bomat Courier work? Do we discard the things we have in our hand? Yeah, we discard our hand. Actually, that's pretty good for Bomat. And Bomat would give us a an artifact for our graveyard. Vessel is a nice card, but we're not playing that much. We're not playing that much recurrence to make vessels super good. One Cling to Death can be good. It can almost always snack something decent. If there would be a useful enchantment, that could help us as well to activate Darcy, and Chef could be okay, maybe, but it's a bit expensive. What can we get for 1 mana that's doing something really nice or interesting? What can we do that's doing something really interesting or decent for us? Knight of the Ebon Legion is actually still a good creature. So this is gonna be a Rakdos historic deck playing around with Arcanist. What else could we choose? Actually, Reconner Raid might be okay. It's not a super strong card, but Phyrexian Reclamation, pay 2 life, return a creature to your hand. Helps with the card types. Kroxak can exile it. Channeler can't bring it back though. Actually, more things for Channeler would probably be the best, because at the moment we still don't have that many strong things. Ghast isn't good because you're not really sacrificing anything. I mean, Village Rites could be these, right? If they want to shoot some of our things, we could certainly test it out. Warlock class, not really what we need. This might be already a little bit too expensive, to be honest. 2 mana spells. Because what we would want would be to maximize the number of spells we can cast, right? And I mean, unless you see something really broken or very important, actually Feed the Swarm could be very, very good in the side, right? And a Braid, yeah. I have to put a Braid in the side because because it's really dangerous for us if they have Gravedigger's Cage or something like that. Toshiro Imazava, maybe actually we can go down to 2 channelers. Imazava is not a bad spell. I'm almost willing to play a Braid main deck because it's a removal spell and it also helps with some of the these days quite prevalent graveyard hate. A lot of it is in artifact form. And a braid can do a good job at mitigating that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a braid. 2 braids. And then let's check out red. Barbarian class isn't doing anything for us. Playing the Firstborn in the current meta, not that much, and we're not playing enough. Synthesizer could be okay actually. It helps us to cast our spells. It gives us a body. It's an artifact, so it makes it easier to turn on Unholy Heat and Dragon's Rage Channeler. It's very tempting, to be honest. This is a good spell, it can go face. Crater isn't bad, yeah. Crater can be pretty fun. If you bring back a Croxa, if you have Crater, it can do some pretty nasty stuff. Kumano faces Kakazan. It's not bad, I mean it can help us to get in. Lightning Axe can be okay sometimes. If we need to remove something big. Oh, sorry, I wanted to use... Yeah, I wanted to use Play with Fire because I value the fact that it can go face and then we get to scry. Reckless Charge isn't bad. One thing I'm worried about is that we are not discarding and drawing enough cards. Not discarding and drawing enough cards. Maybe Channeler 3. Okay, I'm gonna go and give this a go. And see how it does. And try to get our dailies. So what we want is Historic Ranked, Best of 3. With our Rakdos Arcanist list with Lurus. Yeah, maybe the Seasoned Pyro lists are a little bit better, then we can afford to add some other strong 3 mana cards. 4 mana Chandra is excellent as well if you need to switch into a more controlling build after sideboarding. But I mean this one is tricky, right? We could keep, and we can either Bomat Courier Toadseys or Faithless Looting Bomat Courier. Faithless Looting can maybe draw us into a second land. I think I'm gonna risk that, yeah. I'm gonna risk that. It is risky because Arena's land patterns are really who knows how they work, but yeah, we are in a bit of trouble now. Well, we are in trouble actually. We're not drawing a second land. This might not be fun. This might not be fun. If we get stuck on 1 mana, we're not gonna do well in the game. That's for sure. And our opponent seems to be on Golgari Intangible Lurch. No. Yeah, we're gonna be stuck here. We're gonna be stuck here forever. I think next turn I'm just going to sack my Bomat Courier if it's still alive. Opponent is on some funky deck. Wow, lots of tokens and Intangible Virtue. Huh. Meanwhile, we get our second land though. That's pretty neat. So maybe just lead with Arcanist, hope that they don't have removal for it. Skip attacking this turn, and next turn we could remove something with the Arcanist. Keep up village rights. Yeah, we'll have to let them flip. No blocks at the moment. I was a bit wary that they might have some buff spell and then they can get rid of the Arcanist, which we need for value. The problem is it's a bit late for Toadseas. At this point, if we double Toadseas next turn, then we just basically put ourselves down for life. Yeah, I thought that this could happen. That's a whole lot of lands, man. Channeler is still not a biggie. Still not a biggie, ne? Oof. I think I'll still bring Channeler and hope that next turn it can get us to 3 mana. I don't really see any other hope here of surviving. Join the dance is putting in work for my opponent. Intangible Virtue. Man, dying to these cards. Oh, and the Moss Rider Cavalry. My opponent is coming in for lethal. Beautiful. That's actually really fun though. I've seen so many creative and interesting decks in the last couple of days. People are really brewing all kinds of funky stuff. Now we get our third land. Well, that's a bit too little, too late. Okay, we're just gonna pass here. We can't win this. And so what can we do against this kind of deck? And this kind of deck very heavily relies on enchantments. What can be done against such a deck? Oh, my opponent is enjoying their victory. They're not taking their turn. They're sitting on it. They're like, I squashed the puny Rakdos Arcanist. Good, good. Please just get in. Good, at least they didn't play out their hand before they won. Nice, nice, nice. Playing out your hand is the prerogative of the losing player. Feed the Swarm can actually be pretty decent here, and yeah, I guess Feed the Swarm is gonna be good. Bone Shards might be good, removal might be good. Toadseas is less good because we don't want to lose too much life. Braid as well, they're not really a they're not really so much. Arcanist might not get in and Croxa might be a bit slow. Darcy would be nice. So keeping a one-lander is a no-no even with this deck. Don't keep one-landers even if you have Fateless Looting in your hand. You're not gonna get a second land from Arena. And this is a lot more decent though. We can Darcy and then Looting and then have a pretty potent Arcanist. Seems okay. So they need a pretty good amount of removal to be game here. I think we can accrue a lot of value very quickly. And they have Mulligan twice. Come on, don't lose to Mulligan. I have a decent hand. I would want to play it out. Gosh. Poor opponent. That happens. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you get really horrible hands and hey, nothing you can do about that, is there? Sorry for them. So this is interesting. This matchup can be pretty fun. It's a bit too many lands, but with Courier we could discard some of them. So we might just go with the Bomat and then try and take it from there. Opponent goes first. We have something for their first intangible virtue. Yeah, that's okay as well. They have hexproof. Does it matter for me? I can't discard their hand, but they want to remove this for 4 mana. It doesn't give hexproof to their creatures. It's a pretty card. I like it. I think we're just going to Croxa. They have joined the dance, so they're like holding it up, and they want my Bowman Courier to attack into it, which I'm not going to do. Okay, Pride of Conquerors is gone. That's good. Bowman is going to sit back. We have 5 lands. Raise the alarm. Yep, pretty much the same. We might... now Inquisition would be neat. But we might just snag the alarm. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna snag the alarm. Put something in my graveyard, draw a card. Get another Croxa. Yeah, play Croxa number 2, discard, they have to discard something. Each opponent... Croxa is very nice because it doesn't target, it says each opponent, so everyone has to do it. Oh, you naughty boy. That's a decent spell. It's a pretty decent spell. I might want to... Aha, they have another March of the Multitudes. Wow. That is a multitude. That is quite a multitude. They're coming in for 5. Well, not much I can do about that. I'm still sort of... I'm not sure whether Leyline was a good draw for them actually or not. I mean, I could feed the Swarm, Kozilek, go in with the Courier, sack it, but I'm almost dead on the swing back. I might just be better off sacking it straight. Yeah, they don't have any creatures in the graveyard for me to gain life from, and we get 2 more lands. So this is how we're going to die. This is how we're going to die. We're gonna put Loris in our hand and then try and loot Croxa. But basically this is how we're going to die. We're going to die to Flood. We see 7 out of our 20 lands in our first 15 cards. Good. Almost half of our lands are here with us. Opponent is Verdant Command, exiling one of our Croxas. That's nice. They could have made 2 squirrels. That would have been maybe worse. Oh, they did make 2 squirrels. Yep. We're pretty much dead. We're pretty much dead. I mean, I have to cast Lurry and bring back Bomat, keep up, play with fire, and just hope that their last card isn't intangible virtue. If it is, then we're dead to the onslaught. The onslaught of tokens. This was not the enchantment that I wanted to get with Feed the Swarm. Very strange. Very, very strange. They're counting. They're gonna come in with everything. No, they don't. Maybe I want to... Oh, I can't scry, right? Because I can't target them. Never mind. Take out one of their lifelinkers. Croxa can come back. Make them discard. Cast it with Lurry. Make them discard something. Another Leyline of Sanctity. Sure. Cast a Crypt. I guess so. And then just go, I guess. Yep, that's it. It's too bad that Feed the Swarm isn't an instant. That would be very good. So they have a lot of power on board. We're gonna go to blockers. Lurry can eat that. Courier can block one of the squirrels. And we can shoot down one of the live green boys as well. And then we still take 8, but we also gain 3. So we're gonna survive here. Go back up to 1. The problem is we don't have enough to actually get rid of Feed the Swarm. That's a bit annoying. And we have 1, 7, we still have 7. Okay, 7 is not that unrealistic actually at this point of the game. We can cling the dust, we can just bring back regular Croxa. I mean, can we bring back Beaumont, attack with Lurrus, get 3 life, and still have enough for Croxa and Leyline? Yeah, that seems possible. But that would help with the Dragon's Rage Channeler. So maybe we'll play Darcy first. Go in with Lurrus. See what Lurrus can do. They're going to trade a squirrel for Lurrus. Yeah, that's okay with us because we get the life of it. We can feed the swarm. And yeah, I mean, Unholy Heat would be nice in our hand as well, but it doesn't save us at this point. And we're gonna get back a Croxa. Sadly, we are dead. Sadly, we are dead. Sad and bad, but we are dead. My opponent has to discard their last card, which was the 3rd Leyline of Sanctity. How funny. And they have another Legion's landing, which is going to flip, but they're attacking us anyway for lethal. Cool. Good game, opponent. Well done. I did not expect to play against Slashnet tokens, playing Leyline of Sanctity. That was quite funny. So let's move on to the next one. I also didn't expect to draw so many lands at the beginning, but hey, it happens. But we are doing well. We're going to be done with our dailies very quickly. Maybe some small creature mass removal would be good, but I don't think this is a meta deck, my opponent's deck. I mean, it's like a tier 2, tier 3 deck. They got us because we had very, very slow starts twice in a row. One time I just didn't get a land until like turn 4 or 5. One time I didn't get second land. The other time I got like 4 or 5 lands at the beginning, which is pretty much a death sentence with this kind of deck. Yorion, oh my god, that's horrible. Oh, how I hate that card. So what do? We can do 2 things, right? One is Thoughtseize hope to draw a second untapped card, land, and next turn, I don't know, maybe just draw a card off Cling to Dust, Fable Passage, and then Red Horde Arcanist comes on turn 3, or we can just... I think that's too late though, because then Red Horde Arcanist isn't active until turn 4. This deck is gonna be doing stuff way before that. So we're gonna get a mountain here, and cast our Arcanist. Let's hope our opponent isn't keeping up. Fatal Push. And Trial of Ambition. Fair enough. Good on you, man. We're gonna have a look at what they have. 1 Meathook Massacre. 3 golden eggs. Wow. Weird. But this can be obviously pretty bad for us. Let's have a look. That's becoming slightly too many lands. So maybe just take away one of your golden eggs, so you can draw a few less cards, opponent. It's a mono black Yorion so far. That's what we see. With double swamp. Very strange. Maybe our opponent just had a bad draw. Okay, we can see it's Orzhov maybe. Might be an Orzhov deck. But that's pretty neat. Yeah, 2 lands can go. Darcy can come. And, well, we can do this at instant speed, right? So... Darcy is pretty good unless they have another Trial of Ambition or some kind of Note removal. Well, they are inching closer to playing Yorion, which is something we can't do much against unless we find one of our Croxes eventually. But instead we found 6, 7 of our lands again, which is pretty underwhelming. 7 lands. And only 2 creatures. Interesting. Anyway, let's get rid of some of these things. Draw a card. Get rid of another land. Please don't give me more lands. Okie dokie. And it seems pretty good. Village Rites is actually good. I wouldn't mind drawing it. Yeah, Murderous Rider can go. Should we keep this for Yorion? Yeah, I think I have to keep this for Yorion. Anyway, it's not just that I want to keep it for Yorion, it's also that I want to cast Village Rites on the Croxa after I played it, so that I can draw cards off it. My opponent is thinking now whether they should put Yorion into their hand, or should they play Meathook Massacre and get rid of Darcy. But, okay, so now we're going to cast Croxa. And we have full control on because we want to cast Village Rites in reaction to the triggers of Croxa and sack it before it goes into the graveyard automatically. And this way we're gonna get to draw a bunch of cards off it. Certainly don't really want more lands at the moment, because we're gonna draw lands anyway, no matter what we do. That's not really ideal. That's not really ideal. We have a lot of mana, so it can bring back Croxa next turn. That's a good thing, at least. Can bring Croxa back. Our opponent is going to Trial of Ambition and draw 2 cards with the eggs. That's sad though. So, the current build of my deck is super cute, but it's very dirtly and slow. So, it's not doing well at all. Can they do anything about Croxa though? Well, first let's have a look. And when my opponent exile things, Yeah, exiling graveyards doesn't sound good to me, thank you. Push and play with fire, they're not ideal here. If I would get another land, I could Croxa. Croxa and not much, right? Because if I bring back Croxa from the graveyard, but I mean, still, it's nice to keep up village rights, though, in case they find removal. Horse of Yorion, interesting decks I'm dying to. Yeah, pretty interesting. Well, they have a ton of value, so not much I can do about that. Okie dokie, Dreadhorde Arcanist comes, that's not horrible. But I would need more Unholy Heats, that's for sure, because we do need to remove these big creatures. It seems like many decks, Niv, Yorion, many other decks seem to run these. Yeah, of course they're going to Meathook Massacre, that is sort of obvious. The problem is now, if I cast Lurrus, it's too late, they're just gonna come in twice with Yorion. We saw half of our deck and we haven't seen Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat would pretty much be my last resort here. I mean, I could... Do they have any creature? I could exile Murderous Rider. Let's bring back Croxa for the moment. And hope that I survive. Yeah, maybe that's a plan. It's not a great plan, but you know, there have been worse plans in the history of plans. Okay, opponent has to discard their land. And we're gonna keep that land because I might want to Faithless Looting and then Faithlessly loot without any faith, and in that case it comes in really handy. Sadly my opponent has the 2 walls and all the eggs they could wish for, so I can't very easily... and they have another Murderous Rider as well. Well, not much I can do about that either. They gain a life of it either as well. Oi, my man. It's very little, very late. Amigo mio. Problem is, Cling to Dust is 4 mana. That's a lot. And we have to exile, of all things, a creature just to gain 3 life. It doesn't even do much. Oh, how many things do we need to get rid of? 5. Oh my god. So many just to stay alive. It's a bit ridiculous. Not very good. Not very good. So I think we have lost this. We're never going to catch up with the 4/5 flyer unless I draw Unholy Heat, but there is no guarantee that that's anywhere near. What could we do? I mean, this is unconditional removal, so it's good. Maybe this is good as well. And Rampage might be okay here. They might play a bunch of artifacts, and it's nice to discard them as well. Kozilek might be less important. Fatal Push is definitely not very good. Bladed Fire isn't doing a whole lot against them. The Braid can be okay. I think Feed the Swarm might be good in 3 copies because they might bring in some graveyard hate. Cling wasn't brilliant. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. There's really certainly a hard limit on how many escape cards and graveyard synergy cards you can play in a deck. I think 1 or 2 have to be maximalized. I'm just wondering, like, what is the what is the best way to find those 1 or 2. Is it Croxa? Is it Arcanist? Is it Darcy? I mean, Darcy is obviously a house in Phoenix, because in Phoenix nothing is eating the graveyard, but you want to be filling the graveyard constantly, so that's a natural synergy. Croxa and Arcanist do eat into the graveyard, right? So there's a bit less synergy there. This is bad again. You know, if these would be fast lands, not slow lands, it would be so good, but whatever. We're gonna go with Toadseas and have a look at their hand and try to get rid of something nasty. Obviously, cheap exile spells are something we don't want our opponent to have. But they have basically a ton of removal. This is what we have been looking for in the previous game, but never found it. Fetus Farm will be good for Doom. Or Elspeth Nightmare. Unholy Heat would be so good against Yorion. Oh god. Actually, you know what? I might try to ride the Croxa train. I'm really unsure whether Arcanist would stay on the board for long here, so... maybe I could have gotten 1 activation out of it. That's true. And I do feel like I need a lot of black most of the time. Somehow... yeah. Well, let's be efficient and see what we can get. 2 Doom Foretods. Nice, dude. How amazing for you. Elspeth's Nightmare. So the problem with that is that we're going to have to discard to it, right? And then it takes out our graveyard, which we don't want. And we don't want to play the Croxa without playing Village Rites and refilling our hand either. Yeah, I feel like we put a lot of cards into the graveyard, but we didn't do it in an efficient way, because we were like trading 1 for 1. And yeah, just trading 1 for 1 every time. It's just not great. We didn't get any value out of anything so far, that's the problem here. Land number 5, that's not really what we needed. Yeah, let's just bring it. Village Rites is a house with Croxa though. And yeah. Another land, it's horrible. That's just horrible. We really don't need this many lands. 7 again. That's an artifact creature, we could remove it. Just to get rid of it. Yeah. Yeah, sure. That's fine. We're going to discard another land! Yay! Yay! Bring back our Croxy. The problem is they can just Rite of Oblivion our Croxa. It still takes something out of their hand, and it's better than if they Rite of Oblivion the Dreadfort Arcanist. Or is it? This is interesting, right? Will I want to have the Arcanist rather? Maybe yes, actually. The Arcanist can come back multiple times for value. How many lands are in my graveyard? 2. I do want to leave a good mixture of things in my graveyard for Arcanist and other purposes though, right? That's true, I have to think about that as well. What am I unlikely? Well, maybe 2 Toadseas are a bit excessive. Actually, the Arcanist could have gone, to be honest. We're unlikely to bring it back anyway. They drew so many lands, gosh. Yeah, that's just gonna get Rite of Oblivion, obviously. Very well, very well. I'm already down to 7. Wow. life I'm losing. It's unbelievable. So they're obviously going to try and remove that. Maybe put Yorion into their hand. They drew some more removal. Black-white is pretty strong against this kind of dirtly deck. We have a few small value creatures and a very small, slow big one. Yeah, against value decks it's always very, very hard. Big mana value decks with small mana value decks. They're willing to sacrifice their token, fair enough. And well, we can get rid of Yorion, it's a good thing though. I guess. Bring back one of the Arcanists. Let's see, maybe they have another Massacre. They might. And they've been drawing a lot of removal in both games, so... Yep! They drew the second Massacre. I love it when people draw like this, you know, like 0 selection, 0 card draw, but they draw exactly the one card they need after their 80 card deck. But anyway, I shouldn't be a bad loser. Sure. It doesn't matter whether they bounce it or not, it's not doing anything because you can't play the X again. So it's coming back with 0. Yeah, sure. I mean, I think I'm just going to double abrade it, and keep up the bone shards for a second Yorion, which I have 0 doubt that they already drew. Yeah, I lose a life, I know. Let's have a look. Well, this can go as well. And the turn. Let's see how we get on. Is Bomat Courier going to get there? Yeah, we're just going to sack that. I'm gonna see those 2 other cards. Oh, that's pretty nice. That worked out alright. That worked out okay. The opponent is holding up a land to bluff something, which is a wise thing to do. And are we gonna go all in? Yep. We're gonna risk. We're gonna take a risk, and I hope he doesn't have another Meat Hook Massacre. Breath of God off the top. Naturally. What else? Okay, it feels like opponent's deck has been pretty much built to dunk on creature decks, so it would be quite hard for us to do anything with it. And we're going to end our turn here and make our opponent discard that card that they have been keeping up for a long time, and return one of our Arcanists. Let's have a look at what are you keeping there. Yeah, I thought so. Bluffing with the land. So they did top deck the Breath of God. That's pretty impressive, actually. That's pretty impressive. And then they top deck Treacherous. Good to see yours of Yorion popping off. Again, I'm happy for seeing that. It's a cute deck. It's a cute deck. Well, did they draw another Breath of God? Or Massacre? They might have. They drew a Golden Egg, okay. Just gonna draw them another card. Which is gonna be Farewell. Another Meat Hook Massacre, number 3! Yay! All the sweepers! Sure. Well, Channeler is okay. We're gonna draw that. Play that, and I'm pretty sure they drew another removal spell for that. Massacre 4, maybe. Trial of Ambitions 3, yeah, that's good too. That's good too, absolutely. What else is in their deck? I mean, how does this deck do against a control deck? It doesn't do anything, right? It just dies on the spot. Seems like it, I mean... Yep. It's the who can draw more lands championship that you can all witness at the moment. My opponent and I are competing pretty hard. But my opponent is definitely winning the who can draw more Trial of Ambitions and the who can draw more Meat Hook Massacres championship. Totally wonky, man. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Good matchup for us. Wow. I haven't seen anyone play Orzhov Yorion ever in like 2 years, since probably the Ikoria / Eldraine meta. Right, so this deck is not functioning well, that's for sure. So I want to have a quick look at what other people do with the Rakdos Arcanist build, which makes it do somewhat better, because it's supposed to be one of the top meta decks. Now, one of the things is, of course, it's pretty hard to play meta decks because it's a wild west out there. But people do seem to be playing a non-Lurrus build. We're gonna give that one a go. So this is Lurrus, and this is Chandra Rakdos history, and I'm lacking something here. Okay, one thing I definitely forgot that I can straight away think about are the value lands. So, okay, that means also fewer tap lands. That's good. Aggro Mauling, go blank. Wow. Season Pyro, yeah, definitely I see the point of that. Spikefield Hazard, main deck Lantern, and Push, Swarm, Lava Coil, 3 Hitotsugus. I mean, that must have been good for the tournament, but I don't think I want that many Hitotsugus for the casual meta. Right, so let's mix it up a bit, because we're not playing against super optimized Phoenix decks primarily. We're playing mostly against people's favorite funky janky decks, which means that what would be good, I feel, would be some kind of faster threat. Like a faster clock. Just having a faster clock would be pretty good. Rekindling Phoenix. Maybe. And this seems very tuned against the championship meta, the championship that took place 2 weeks ago. So I'm a little bit skeptical how well this is going to do. here in the wild west of Arena. I don't know, people. Let's have a look whether we can find anything funky from, I don't know, recent things. Is there anything we could play that would add to this? Undercity Plunder, would that be good? I mean, they do discard a card and then we conjure something. Trespasser, cute but slow, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I would want to add more. I mean, Rankle is sort of a fun card. It's got at least haste and flying. Lightning Bolt, what is this build for? Limited people? No. God. No, this is for traditional and historic. Why is it showing me Lightning Bolt? Dude, get a bearing. Gatekeeper, Curse of Shaken Fate. Curse of Shaken Fate seems to be a pretty fun sideboard card. And so does Molten Impact, actually. Bone Crusher can be useful. Should we add Kikijiki like everyone? It's the trendy card at the moment. Fashionable card. It's not a bad thing that it's a fashionable card. Fashionable isn't bad in itself. Very often it means that something is really good, that's why everyone likes it. I somehow feel like we would need solid early threats to get damage through. Like, this deck is just lacking in dealing damage. You just can't. Like, there's almost nothing that does damage here. Does Rahilda help us, really? Yeah. Is there anything really efficient? I mean, Dreadhorde Arcanist, obviously these cards are super efficient, but they're not, their damage output isn't amazing. Maybe have a Glorybringer to sort of finish the games off. Right, like to close the games. If we need something, it's not gonna... Games won't win themselves, that's my problem with this deck. Games just won't win themselves. Maybe Proxy number 4 is okay. Seasoned Pyro number 4. I mean, I don't mind crafting a Seasoned Pyro, it's an amazing card. It's gonna be good for a long time to come. But let's give it a go. It's certainly a fun deck and good to know it a bit. It's very difficult to pilot. I've tried it a few times, but I always find that it's extremely tiring, time consuming, and it's got good payoffs for your troubles, but do you keep something like this or not? 3 removal spells. Opponent is playing again a Yorion player. Good God, why? Why? Do we want to play a slow game here? What do we want to play? Maybe that's more realistic though. I want that sweet early information, please. Oh, they have a farewell. God. We run into all the Yorion players today. I didn't know they existed. I didn't know they still existed. I haven't played against anyone playing Yorion in months. Suffolk Bebo Box. Oh. What a strange name. The beginning of the name makes you smile, since Zaphod is such a funny character in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We're running into all these decks with a lot of removal, and these matchups are just horrible for us, to be honest. I think they are. I mean, I don't think these are good matchups. I can imagine that the control matchup is okay, but Yorion is just about amassing ton of value, and it can't get rid of planeswalkers. What the heck are we playing against, people? What the heck is this, Joe? I feel like this deck I'm playing is just super cutesy and fragile and totally irrelevant. I mean, look, I'm trying to play 2 mana 1/3s on turn 5 when my opponent is playing Archmage's Charms, March of Otherworldly Lights, Shark Typhoons, Farewells, and Yorions. The value is insane. The value is just insane. And this one has Flame Blast Ball as well, it's totally useless. It's just... So we are attacking basically into a shark. 3/3 shark, well. Oh, we don't even have... I thought I have Thoughtseize. Okay, sorry everyone. I was so convinced I had Thoughtseize. Well, we're going to deal with their shark at least. And they're definitely going to exile it. Maybe they won't use it to block. And they will, of course. Are they going to farewell the Arcanist? No, they just pass. Wow. It's actually even worse for us. this is horrible. Everything we draw is horrible. Everything we have is tiny, irrelevant creatures. Absolutely tiny, irrelevant creatures. Against the farewell. How does this deck win any games, man? Like, what does it have that makes it good against a deck playing farewell and Shark Typhoons? Nothing. Literally nothing. No, I mean, Arcanist is just gonna die here very, very quickly, and it's gonna be totally irrelevant. Flame-Blast Bolt, useless cards, tons of them, nothing these cards are doing. Wow. This is definitely not the... I mean, this might have been the perfect build for the tournament, but it's definitely not the build to tackle the ladder. Maybe this is just not the deck to tackle the ladder. I guess this is good if you have certain styles of control deck and certain styles of certain styles of control deck and certain styles of aggro and midrange decks, then this deck can do well because it sort of occupies the right niche, but as it stands, it's just pretty messy and not very good against, but certainly not against Yorion decks. But the Yorion decks are not meta. I mean, I don't really understand what all these Yorion decks are doing here. They're very, very weird. We have to get rid of Tef because Tef totally disables our Arcanist. But our opponent is anyway just sitting there with two sweepers. This is Toadsee's number 4, and we are still so far away from really hurting our opponent because they have memory to use Farewell and Yorion. But we can't let them play Yorion because Yorion is just gonna block whatever we have. Yeah, it's not ideal. They're going to deluge, yeah. Why did they not play a 5th land though? I don't know. Whatever. So after 4 Toadseas, I'm still so far behind. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. They don't even need to farewell, you know, it's like really condescending. Okay, man. Okay, you're the boss. You're the boss. Wow. This deck is so bad against something like my opponent's deck. It does nothing in this matchup, literally nothing. Sure. It does literally nothing. 0. It tries to beat a control deck with a very low number of very small creatures. Sure. These are pretty godly top decks from 15 cards, though, I have to say that. Six lands. And yeah, well, at least one of us drew lands, mate. I'm sure he's jelly. I'm sure he's jelly because we have all the lands. We've seen 10 of them. 10? No, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, half of our lands. Yay! Sure. Little did he know that we had unholy heat. Ha ha ha. $11 lands. Pretty brutal, man. It's pretty brutal. Sure. I don't think we're coming back from this, though. Not with the rest in peace and whatnot. I mean, if you would draw a Sorin, and then a Toadseas, and then, I don't know, not a land, something that's not a land, that could do it, but I think if I keep drawing lands, my chances are rather minimal. Yay, let's make tokens! Sure, that's their top deck. They're still not drawing lands, they're just drawing value. Well, that's life. If you're playing against the value deck. I'm pretty sure now if we would play against, if we would switch to this deck, because it looks sweet, I'm really tempted to switch to something like this. We would immediately get crushed by a very aggressive red-green build or something like that. But yeah, so Arcanist is not my deck. That's always what I feel. Yeah, so land number 8, 9, 12. Well, at least that's something. That's not nothing. Do they have another counter spell? I thought so. I thought for a moment they had another counter spell. And they had a perfect reply to everything so far. Well, we're getting in. One at a time. Two at a time at the moment. Deluge, okay. Sure. What is it going to be, opponent? What is your choice way of destroying us? We do get in for 4, that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to Croxo opponent, make them discard. So they have fewer options. Might suffer some damage, they don't, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure they have another sweeper. Bane Slayer Angel, we're never ever gonna get through that, that's for sure. That's for sure, because it has first strike as well, right? First strike, lifelink, protection, everything you would want from a creature. And how can we do that? I mean, there's no graveyard. Maybe at the end step of our opponent we can. That doesn't do anything if we get it back. Well, let's just see. Is there anything we can do here? Opponent is just gonna gain 5. Oh no, they're just sitting behind their angel. Can we burn them out? How many Cologans commands do I have? Not many. I don't have any direct damage, so... Don't have any direct damage. Okay. Nothing, another farewell. Okay. I guess no attacks. Because they would get 4 damage, but they would also get 5 lives. So they would actually be better off than they were. Sure. And then they're going to farewell creatures. Yeah. So, it doesn't matter. They can just kill me very comfortably. The Wandering Emperor, of course. What else? Gain 2 life. Lose the game. Neat. Interesting. Absolutely zero chance with Rakdos Arcanist, at least against Yorion builds. They're way too much value, and the removal kills of these fragile little creatures very easily. So this has been a horrible run, maybe one of the worst recently. And yeah, probably the worst recently. I don't think I've lost so much in Constructed in a while. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think I want to keep trying this deck. I'm sure it's okay for tournaments for very skilled players, but if you're an average ability casual player who just wants to have a bit of fun, log in, get their daily wins with something, I don't recommend you this deck. There's Phoenix for that, and it gets the job done. You get like, I don't know, 3 out of 5. Actually, this was a little bit tiring, so we might just go for a bit of best of 1 and hope to get our daily gold and with our two tricks pony deck, and then clean up the decks a bit. Right, we can... It's not a great hand. We can throw maybe into a resurrection spell or some token making. Problem is that we go first, and it's just not that good to go first with this kind of deck. Because you need with combo decks, you almost always need the extra card more. And you also don't want to give away too much information. Yeah, sure. Don't need those cards. We get 3 more lands. Man, I don't know. We got... This was the same what happened with the Arcanist deck, isn't it? What's wrong here, man? Something is not quite working the way it should. Is what I say. And this deck also has about 20 lands in total, so yeah, it should not... It should definitely not draw this many. Well, we're going to hardcast that Ulamog if things go like this. We're going to hardcast Ulamog. That's gonna be nice. We're gonna exile something. By that time we're gonna be dead a long time ago. This is gonna be the Scorio combo. And I'm sure my opponent's going to find Heliod and the Oak. Yeah, the Oak is there. The Oak is there. And unless I draw exactly late to dinner, I am very unlikely to survive this. With 7 lands, can we see more lands than playables? 7 lands and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playables. 2 of them are combo pieces which should be in the deck. Alright, well, anyway, thank you all for watching. That's it for today. And is this going to be infinite? It is, right? Not yet, but almost. Well, we draw another land. Okay, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. That was a cute joke. 8 lands out of 20. It's been good fun, and yeah, even if you don't win, of course, it's fun. It's just an easy, fun card game. And I'll see you again probably tomorrow for a little bit of constructed ladder play. We're going to try out something else, not Rakdos Arcanist. That didn't work out quite the way it should have. Alright, that's a little bit better hand. Yeah, it's not horrible. At least we have a couple of tokens for the creativity. Else. The question with this one is... I might just wait and Wrath of God here, to be honest. I might just wait and Wrath of God. If I'm able to... Yep, I'll be able to Wrath of God. That's pretty good. And they might come in for a bunch. I hope that they would play out more. with their elves this turn. Yeah. So here is the thing. If I wipe them now, do I have enough time to set up the combo? Right, I need 2 more steps to get something out. Because I can cast 2 raise the alarms on their turn. And then I can cast creativity for 2. Should be okay. Should still be alive here, I think. Most likely, not 100%, but I think at least I have a chance. Yeah, we're not going to block. That's not how we win. We need to play that, and most likely that as well. Another Breath of God. And we're going to do creativity for 2. And hopefully get Sarah's Emissary, 2 copies. Oh, Zatalpa is also good. So we're gonna put that on creatures. And everything we have has protection from creatures. Okay, can our opponent do something about that? No, good. Okay. We cheesed at least a victory. Something. It's a nicer way to end the day. Right. It's a nicer way to end the day. Getting there with our janky combo. It always feels good. Elves are interesting. Elves are a very snowbally deck. I don't like to play this kind of deck often, to be honest. I find it quite repetitive and boring. So I try to only play these things occasionally, but occasionally they're fun. So Thrilling Discovery and Late to Dinner are the... we're playing Yep, we're playing the mirror. The dragon combo, right. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Tricky. The dragon combo. Yeah, there's Thrilling Discovering. Hey, there's Scholar, Dragon Storm. Tricky. Right. I'm going to raise the alarm. It would be nicer to cast that for 2. But they might go off next turn as well. I'll just do it for 1. So tempting to wait a turn. Can I wait a turn? Can I afford it to wait a turn? I'll risk it. Man, maybe that was a mistake though. Probably it was a mistake. I think they're gonna go off here. Or remove my tokens. That would be even worse. Yeah, that's a possibility. They can just maybe... Oh, they haven't gone off. They need 1 more turn. So if they can't remove my tokens... Oh, this is so close. Faithless Looting. Okay, we might be doing it. Yes. Okay, so we can cast it now for 3. No, we can't cast it for 3. Silly me. Because we only have 5 mana. 6. We have 6 mana, but yeah, we can cast it for 2. Yes. Like that. What do they have? I thought they have Spell Pierce for a moment. So we don't want to die to creatures, that's for sure. And Koma is going to start making the serpents. Can it tap lands? It can. Nizix's Mastery, the Unbarrier Rights. Okay, so far so good. And return target creature. So they're returning, of course, this color, which will let them cast Dragonstorm. Yeah, that's okay as well. Nothing we can do about that because it's a storm card. It's gonna get 2 copies. They're gonna put 3 dragons on the board. But we are protected from damage by creatures, I think. And they're gonna look for another Bladewing, but they can't target anything with the Bladewing and the Terror. No. You won't be able to target anything because we have protection from creatures. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that this is the combo, right? They're dealing infinite damage with Terror of the Peaks. And they have to... Wait a moment, do they have to do damage? Yeah. So they're going to have to keep damaging their own Bladewing. Are they going to do this forever? Oh, they seem to intend to do this until the end of times. I mean, I don't mind that, but after a time they will time out. My opponent is a bit... I think they're a bit shocked that their combo isn't working the way they intended it to work. You can't stop your own combo, right? Because you don't have any other dragons in the yard. But no, it says you may return a dragon, so they don't have to continue. If they do give up, they realize that it's gonna go on like this. Okay, that was good. We beat the... With our janky combo deck, we beat the opponent's janky combo deck. So whenever things get a bit too complicated or I get a little bit too fed up with something, I usually return to my 2 Tricks Pony deck. And I call it 2 Tricks Pony because one trick is obviously that we make a bunch of treasure tokens and a few creatures, and then we just pull some creatures out with indomitable creativity. And the other trick is that we use Thrilling Discovery or Faithless Looting to put some of our biggies into the yard, and then we just use Late to Dinner. And this way we can just be Boros, which enables us to have pretty good mana. And we're not playing more of these lands, these duos, because we don't want to have too many tapped lands. But yeah, maybe one mountain or one plains could be a Sundown Pass. Yep, but that's about it. It has a sideboard. I think it can be adjusted to be sort of a decent control deck, and against some creature decks which can punish the graveyard or punish the search up function, we can quite easily stall the game until we get to actually cast our biggies from our hand. So it can actually also do alright in best of 3 if it comes to that. But well, yeah. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a great day or great night, whatever time it is where you are, and I'll get on with my work. Bye bye.